Happy Sunday. Nothing like a hot cup of tea. Hey gang, happy Sunday. It is Sunday the 19th of March, despite the fact that it says the 5th of March on the little holding screen, and despite the fact that on the little live thing on YouTube it also said it was the 5th of March. Clearly I am not broadcasting in the past, I'm broadcasting absolutely now live on the 19th of March. So if you're here, good luck. And if you're watching the 5th of March one and thinking, oh, there's another 5th of March one, there's only one 5th of... Anybody else confused? I'm confused as much as everybody else. But anyway, listen, happy Sunday. It's all a bit much, I'm going to be honest. Hello, Lucy. Carol, the sun is shining. Yesterday was, hey, Donna, epic, like epic. It suddenly feels like spring, doesn't it? It's that glorious stillness. You haven't got the icy wind, although Donna's in Scotland and it's almost never it's almost never sunny or warm in Scotland. But I hope you've got some sort of relief from snow or sleet or something or other. I'm carrying on with my I'm pushing forwards with my this idea I've got of trying to try more teas. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know why you rock the boat. Hey Mark, good morning. I'm drinking what I loved. Do you remember, was it Lucy last week, or Kath, who said that fruit, herbal teas, herbal teas are like sucking wet sticks. Lucy's already been out rowing. Oh my gosh. Wow. Congratulations, you. Woody would love to have been doing anything other than sitting on the sofa whining, looking over the edge of it outside the front window, all the other dogs having a walk. But I'm doing this, and I'm going to do a workout, and then we're going to go for a nice walk. But I'm drinking peppermint tea. And the only reason I'm drinking peppermint tea is because, of course, there isn't peppermint right outside. Oh, I couldn't hear you on the Instagram post. Oh, nuts, you're kidding. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Do you know what? Instagram's so funny like that. Sometimes it just, when it uploads, it like glitches or something. Ugh. Well, anyway, basically I was saying, I hope you join me today. We're going to talk about sleep, ivory and hunters and some other, and birthday bumps as well. Where did the birthday bumps come? I'll come for that in a second. So anyway, I've decided for the last kind of few weeks, in fact it's been going on for a couple of months, been having a big cleanse and clear out in the house, just getting rid of stuff that we don't need, stuff that I obviously want to move for the farm, bought a ton of stuff with me, we just packed it and went, and there's a load of stuff that, you know, over time you accumulate, and so I'm trying to like strip stuff out and de-cleanse. And one of the things I've been doing is thinking, okay, do I love it and do I need it? We've spoken about this before, but to the sort of absolute degree that I've been getting rid of stuff that I think, well, okay, I've been putting up with that, but I don't love it, or that piece of clothing isn't super comfortable, or these are the things that I love, so I'm going to keep them in my life, and these are the things I don't love. And I think I've decided categorically, I do not love bought peppermint tea and bought like fancy teas. I'm just a good old English breakfast kind of guy. Or you absolutely cannot be, can you? Like fresh mint leaves in a mug. But because there aren't fresh mint leaves, I've got this one. Anyway, it's a very long way of saying I'm a bit grumpy this morning, I think. I'm not grumpy, I'm not. But to that end, sleep. Okay, in the chat, before we go any further, I want a little poll, right? What time do you go to bed? Or what time do you like to go to bed? Because obviously I appreciate that day to day certain things happen. The dog needs letting out, the cat scratched something, the cat's having one of those nights where it wants to be in, wants to be out, wants to be in, wants to be out, wants to be in, wants to be out. What time do you go to bed? Because I have a very particular time that if I don't go to bed, the bizarrest of things happen. The next morning I am always, even if I get 8 hours sleep or more than 8 hours sleep, I feel like I've been hit by a bus. I find it really difficult to get up in the morning. I find it really challenging. That's Woody. He's in his crate. Doesn't want to be in his crate. He wants to be here, but that's not happening. And he's learning to be in his crate sometimes. As you can tell, it's not going overly well right now, but it's okay. It's going as well as it can do. Yeah. So I find it difficult to like exercise. I just can't really do anything. So I want to know, right, Donna's a 9:30 to 10 p.m. kind of girl. I'm loving this. This is very good. Fruit tea. Oh, yeah, okay, good. Yeah, I like that. For a change of the best, like, oh yeah, because Mark's not a sleeper, are you? I had a bad sleep most of it. Slept right through to about 11 till 7. Okay, that's really good. 10:30 bedtime, Lucy. Ah, no, see, I'm with Donna. Donna and I go to bed at the same time. We're not at the same time. We don't, that isn't a, let's quash that rumor. But 9:30, right? Not till 10 though, Donna. 9 till 9:30. If I am in bed later than 9:30, something just weird like circadian rhythmy or whatever, I have no idea. Oh gosh, Carol's got one of those hideous rhythms where she goes to bed at 10, wakes up at 12 to 4. Horrible. See, I'm really fortunate. When I used to work in hospital, I would sleep under the desk if I needed to on nights because I was just so desperate to sleep sometimes. I can sleep literally anywhere. There's a photograph of me as a kid. I must be, I don't know, 5 or something, cuddled up with a teddy bear on holiday. And the reason my mum and dad took a photo of it is because my bed was just a couple of feet from the patio doors on a little balcony. And that evening there was a huge carnival with fireworks and a band and carnival floats that passed underneath the hotel. And there's me like, that's what I'm like now. I close my eyes, within about 10 seconds I'm twitching and I'm gone. That's me in dream world. Thanks very much. Yeah, I can be Big Spoon, thanks Donna. But later than 9:30, even though it's just half an hour, it's so bizarre. I can't do it. Anyway, the only time I sometimes force myself to stay up often is if there's a really good TV show I'm watching, like really, really good, right? And I remember when Breaking Bad first came out. Oh my gosh, did you watch Breaking Bad? Oh, and you would binge like episode after episode after episode. Well, it's back. Not Breaking Bad, but The Thing. This is super controversial, and I have to say I'm a bit conflicted. Have you seen Hunters on Prime? Now, before you say Hunters is years old, Jez, I know you may remember, if you're part of the Jez tribe, that Jez is always a few years behind everybody else, right? Jez is the person that at a friendship gathering will say to somebody very publicly, hey, Jane, how's your husband Clive doing? And everyone else will give me daggers like that. And that's when I find out that 6 months ago, Clive ran off with a dog walker or something, or the woman who runs the post office, because I'm always the last to find out. So I want to know if you have that thing, because Hunters, incredible, but it's a really conflicted watch. So to the very core of my bones, I cannot abide violence, racism, exclusion. I just feel so uncomfortable with it. I hate watching it. I can't be entertained by it. Do you remember that film? Is it 13 Years a Slave? Something like that. I watched 20 minutes and the racism started and I just felt horrific. I had to not watch it anymore. But I've got this conflicted relationship where Hunters is so well scripted. The twists in the plot are so clever. The cinematography is amazing. It looks great. But it's about Nazi hunters. And there's a lot of kind of, there's obviously a Nazi storyline. There's the horrific sort of storyline of the Jewish community and what was happening in the Second World War. And that is horrible. There's quite a bit of violence in it as well. Not horrific violence, but, well, actually, no, there is horrific violence. I couldn't believe it was a 15. When the guy was getting his head smashed on the dashboard, I was like, oh, this is horrific. There's not too much gore, but it's implied enough to make me feel uncomfortable. But even the plot line makes me feel uncomfortable. I've got that thing. People used to say that it was like that when they would drive past an accident, and like you want to look, but you don't want to look. You want to watch, but you don't want to look. Yeah, but it is very good. And then there's this moral issue, and I'm thinking, well, is it a good thing, really, that we should be, replaying that? And I suppose probably many in the Jewish community and historically would say, absolutely, we can't forget that. Does it glorify the Nazism? I don't know, but it's a really good show. Now, off the back of that, there's more controversy, right? More controversy. Yeah, me too. See, Lucy's an early riser, me too. And I love getting up early. And also, I'm not one of those people that can kick around in bed all day. And I find that really difficult because I seem to have, historically, I've always dated people who can kick around in bed all day. And I'm like, oh, 12 years a slave, possibly. I don't know. I mean, does it matter once you get past 6 months a slave? Does it really matter? 12, 15, 20? I mean, it's horrific, right? Either way. But yeah, I think the film's 12 years a slave. Yeah, I have to get up early. If I wake up, I'm like, okay, that's me. I'm up. What are we going to do with the day? That's me. So anyway, listen, controversy. I am a big fan of Reverend Richard Coles, and this popped up. Oops, hello. This popped up on Richard Coles' Twitter, and it is the most exquisite, and it's beautifully lit. It looks sort of intriguing, and I just leaned in, and I was like, wow. I mean, the workmanship in this jewellery box, I think it is, or box of some sort, incredible. And then I saw, he said it's circa 1900, carved from ivory. And I thought, wow, my first thought was, gosh, ivory's like quite a, I mean, okay, it says soft, it's a bone, but it's hard. And look at all of the holes. It's almost like a fine mesh. You can see through into it. I mean, incredible workmanship. But Chris Packham had tweeted it and said, actually, do you know what? I get that you like that. However, we shouldn't be glorifying ivory because it encourages people who can't buy, the antique ivory like this. I think it became illegal around about the 40s or maybe 70s, where you couldn't buy historical ivory anymore in order to clamp down on its trade and stop people from, making money from it. So Chris Packham quite rightly was saying, actually, I get that you like it, but, you shouldn't really be glorifying it because it encourages people to buy the ivory. And I thought, oh, now, this is a real bind. So when I took a screenshot of this, there were, 300 odd comments of it, of people really divided. So I wanted to know sort of what your thoughts were on this, because I'm really on the fence. I mean, the craftsmanship is epic. It's incredible. Bearing in mind also it was made at a time when people didn't really realise perhaps so much what they were doing. Certainly the consequences of farming ivory, and historically has been something that was a human norm, not that was acceptable or even a good thing. Elephants actually are one of my favourite animals. Maybe the favourite animal. Anyway, but can't have an elephant, so I've got a dog. And dress him up as an elephant. No, I don't. So I get that, and I fully understand the difficulty, but does that mean that we can't, praise that and look at the incredible workmanship? Are we supposed to lock all those things away in a bunker somewhere and not look at them ever again, and we can't appreciate the fine artwork of it, even though it's, I mean, look at pianos. Does that mean that pre-78 or whatever, if you've got a piano with ivory keys, should we not play those anymore? Do they have to go in a box somewhere? I'm not being flippant. I'm genuinely interested in what it is that really we think as a society we should do. Is it that actually there are stupid enough people that, ignorance is bliss, and if you can't see it, it won't happen. So therefore, we should hide all the nice things that they might want made out of ivory so they can't have them. It's different, really, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know what. Anyway, so let me know what you think. I don't know, do we, do you sort of ignore it and, have no ivory? Do you have ivory but only get it out on certain occasions? Or do you pretend that ivory doesn't exist and we should hide it? And I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? Because clearly it's beautifully made. And it seemed a shame to not sort of, honour some of that. Anyway, on to lighter things. It is my birthday in 10 days' time, the 29th of March, which I think I told you was next week, and it's not. It's the week after, isn't it? The Wednesday after that. So, what do we do? But before we get onto that, because I'm always 30 seconds ahead of time, there's always a delay on the chat. Lucy's popped in with her reply about ivory. She's on both sides. If it's taught properly that ivory hunting is bad and we shouldn't still do this, but understand what people used to do with it. Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? It's the historical thing. Yeah, I mean, the irony being that, as with all of these worldwide bans, money always talks, right? And if you want to go and get some ivory thing and you've got the money, you're going to find a way to do it. So we're not going to stop people, are they? It is hard. I mean, I also remember, you know, a lot of the, funny enough, linking back to what we were just talking about hunters, I've seen some prisoner of war artwork and sculpting, I think in a Peterborough museum, bizarrely, of all places. And some of the intricate, because of course they had the time, right? Nothing else to do, and they had to channel their, I guess, grief and loneliness and depression into something, and they created some of the most remarkable pieces of art and sculpture. And actually I saw a beautiful box that was sculpted by a prisoner of war. Yes, it is difficult. Carol says he sort of sees Chris Packen's view that a box was made in a different era and it would be a shame if it couldn't be viewed, so maybe use it as a way of teaching others and highlighting the issue. Yeah, perhaps so. And actually, wouldn't that be interesting, Carol? That's a point. And sort of combines what Lucy's just said. You know, if you showed that and said, isn't this absolutely glorious and beautiful? Look at the workmanship of it. However, the greatest tragedy about this is that an elephant died in order to create this beauty, and here side by side is something equally beautiful that is sustainable from a piece of wood that's you know, grown sustainably and renewable, or that it's from, I don't know, plastic that's been found from the sea, smashed up, and equally, you know, has been carved out. So that it says that, you know, you can have something equally as beautiful, perhaps it's even copied. That would be a lovely project, wouldn't it? To take things that, you know, demonstrate the tragedy of human history and what we've done to the world, but actually offer an alternative that is more sustainable and modern. That's cool. Look at that, we've solved it. Look at that. See, I knew you would have it, gang. I knew. Here at Sunday Elevenses, we've made it. We've changed the way that the world could work for better. So anyway, listen, 10 days time, it's my birthday. I need birthday cake suggestions because I used to do the cake review of this on Sunday Elevenses, as you will know. And the last couple of weeks I haven't had a little cake review, but little cake review is coming back, don't worry. I've been quite busy traveling and it's difficult to kind of get stuff to arrive on time and then not on time, and because it has to arrive either on a Saturday ideally or a Friday, the postage is like obscene. So I'm going to do a little cake review sort of, you know, as a feature, not as a regular feature every week like I used to do it. But I would love birthday cake suggestions. I got 10 days to get a birthday cake here, something special. I don't really do anything on my birthday, so I thought now would be, you know, a little treat this year to do something different. So what do I do for birthday cake? And while you are typing your suggestions about what sort of birthday cake and where I could get it from as well, that's another thing. I was thinking maybe I could make something, but I don't know. Maybe I could make something. I could make a. Do you remember? Do you remember the big chocolate birthday cake I made, and I got the measurements all wrong, and it was like this tall, and they were each of the pieces of cake were the tins were. But this big, and it was so dense and floury because I got the measurements wrong and was trying to convert cups and grams, and it was the you had to have like you had to have loads of milk and tea with it to swallow it. It was like a lump of sand. Like it will be on my Instagram somewhere. It was an epic cake, it looked amazing, but wow, it was wrong. Maybe I could make that again, but make it better. Lemon drizzle cake. That's it, Lucy. Or anything with a dinosaur design. Donna. A dinosaur cake. Dinosaur date. Died on a dinosaur date. A dinosaur date. Yes, okay. I will, like a 5-year-old child, I will demand some sort of dinosaur design cake. With maybe like a raspberry filling or something. I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, I was thinking about birthday cake suggestions and thought, oh, I know. I'll ask the gang on 11s what sort of cake should I get for my birthday and where do I get it from? So if you've got you know, a baker that you know, please drop in the comments and I'll go seek them out, and maybe I'll do a special 11s. Oh, actually, I'll do 11s. Oh, crikey, will I or won't I? The Friday after my birthday, I'm in Miami working, so I'll check check the times and hopefully do a live Sunday Elevenses from Miami. That would be fun, wouldn't it? With my birthday cake. Maybe I could go and find some birthday cake in Miami as well. So, talking of birthdays, the bumps. Can we just really quickly talk? Who thought that would be a great idea to take somebody full of jelly, ice cream and cake and then shove them up and down a lot of times and run them around the room, giving them the bumps? Does anybody know the history of the bumps, or am I going to have to Google it? Because what is that all about? I mean, I know like in Jewish weddings and at bar mitzvahs, they get them on their chair and they kind of like parade them around, but it's less the bumps. It's just bumpy because they're sort of all joyful and dancing and moving them around, but it's not, you know, it's not like they're physically like bumping them up and down. But with the 1 minute, I think Carol's got an issue. Sacerdote. Is that where the bumps come from? A man called Sacerdote? Or a woman called Sacerdote? Is this Italian? Are the bumps Italian? Is this what you're telling me? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Lucy says, forget the cake, just go for the really over-the-top icing design. Well, you can't just have a lump of icing, can you? You've got to have cake beyond it. You can't forget the cake. Someone's getting a little bit... You're taking this too far. Yeah, I don't know where bumps came from. Is Sacerdote a cake? I'm going to Google this, Carol. What is this all about? What's Sacerdote? Let's have a quick quiz here. Sacerdote. Sacerdote. And where do I get sacerdote from? Ooh, Carol. Sacerdote is a chocolate cake or torte. Oh, sacerdote. Okay. Of Austrian origin, invented by Franz Sacher, supposedly in 1832 for Prince Metternich in Vienna. It's one of the most famous Viennese culinary specialities. Wow, it's really good. Is it good then? It's got lots of good ratings. Oh, I might see if I can find that. Gosh, there's lots of people loving it. There's 5-star reviews like spilling out of the place. Okay, that's it. Wow, amazing. Done. Thanks very much. We're having sacerdote. Sacerdote? Might have spelled it wrong. No, I think you spelled it correct. Really gooey chocolatey cake. Can't wait. That's it. That's decided. Thanks, gang. Thanks for the input. But bumps. That's what I want to go back to. I just think it's an odd thing, isn't it? I know, this person, for their birthday, they're having a really lovely time. Let's make them feel very violently sick. Anyway, if you don't know, I'll have to look it up and I'll have to find out. I'm going to find out where I can buy sacerdote from. I'm really excited about this now. And I'll have to eat it before. I have to make a video before I go to Miami, because I don't think I can fly with sacerdote. The Americans get a bit funny. Well, everybody at the minute gets a bit funny. If you take a banana and you get sort of pinned to the floor and grappled. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to take kindly to me taking milk-based chocolate cake. Anyway, I have a thing. I have a thing that I want to talk about today, and it has come from some conversations I've been having with people about social media and about life generally, I think, because I think it's very easy, isn't it, for us to believe that life's wonderful, and we put it we put things online when things are good, don't we, generally? Sometimes as a cry for help. You see that a little bit, but generally it's almost self-rewarding and self-encouraging. You know, it's a sort of, I don't know, self-perpetuating thing where all the good stuff goes onto social media, and it's celebrations, and here's a new dress, and here's a lovely thing, and we went here, and here's a lovely thing, and sharing those lovely good times is good, but I think it does create this undercurrent, almost not a competitive edge. I think that's perhaps a little much, but it creates a... Oh, that's mint tea from a bag. It's horrible, isn't it? Oh, I ruined my Sunday. But I just wanted to take this opportunity on Sunday Elevenses to say that actually sometimes life's difficult, isn't it? I'm all right. Don't worry. It's not a plea. But I am human. And I think I am in a little bit of pain. I'm in a pain about different things in life. I think a lot about what's going on in Turkey and India. I think a lot about what's going on in the Ukraine. But equally, I think a lot about this nonsense immigration thing where we're just going to, people who are desperate and turn up and say, I really need your help. And we're going to pack them off to Uganda. And, you know, life's difficult. And when it is, I think we need something to hold on to, whatever that thing may be. And it could be a dog, it could be walking with nature, it could be crocheting, it could be all sorts of things. But I'd love to know what it is that you hold on to, if you're happy to share it, because I wonder whether this collection of comments about things that you hold on to when life's not great could be a good book. It could be just that you just go and cuddle up and pull the duvet over your head and hide, and that's okay. But I don't think there are enough people saying, actually, I don't feel so great today. Because I suppose, you know, you don't want to necessarily hear other people's problems when you've got your own. But I think it's really important that every now and again, at least, we just remind ourselves that life's hard. And it can be really challenging and really difficult. Lucy says, you know, everyone wants the perfect life. You need to remember everything you see online is just one side. Donna says, social media always seems to paint the best. I'm getting a divorce and publish it to say, hey, life is rubbish and stuff. I was like, oh, darling, I'm so sorry about that. Well, I'm not sorry about you getting a divorce. You have to do the right thing and the right thing for you. But and you're absolutely right. One step at a time. One step at a time. I'm just sorry that you're having to go through something that is challenging. And you know what? My ex-wife, lovely Caroline, and I will hopefully be doing a podcast soon about how we navigated divorce, choosing kindness. And it was a choice. It was a choice. And I hope that some of that will be useful, not necessarily if you're thinking of divorcing or going through a divorce, or even if you've had a divorce, but maybe more about the fact that we get to choose. You know, I think yesterday I was walking Woody and I saw this gorgeous weeping willow tree, and it had the photograph, when I looked at it, it had lightness and darkness, and it reminded me of that wonderful phrase that we get to choose lightness or darkness. You can choose the light or you can choose the dark. It's entirely up to us, but there are consequences all the time for the decisions that we choose and the behaviors that we choose to exhibit. So yeah, I hope that while I put a mix of stuff on my social media that is, you know, of interest when I'm out and about doing stuff, that I hope sometimes has a message, or sometimes it's something interesting that happened, I hope there's an equal amount of balance where it doesn't feel that my content is disingenuous and only shows, you know, super lovely stuff. I'm always very, very happy to share when things aren't going okay. Am I 100% happy? Or somebody flippantly said to me, this is where it started. It was a few months ago. Someone said, are you happy? I think we were, as in like, you know, is everything okay? Should we go now? You know, that kind of, are you happy? Yeah, great. Okay, let's go. And I remember thinking, gosh, that's quite a big question, that, isn't it? Are you happy? And I think probably at the end of the day, that's the thing that we're all looking for, isn't it? Is happiness, through possibly love and connection, through financial security, through belief, through all sorts of different things. But ultimately, I think we just look for happiness. And am I happy with a particular situation at a particular moment in time? I think that's very different to am I globally happy? Am I globally happy? Largely, I think, yeah. There are certain things that aren't lovely, but isn't that life? You know, with all of the darkness comes the bad. I think it was Rainer who once said, no, it was Hafiz. Gosh, I can't remember, Turkish poet, I think, who said something like, I'm paraphrasing, one of his most famous poems, he said, with every sunshine there must come rain, and in every white there is a stain. And that's okay, that's life. I don't think we should be trying to bleach all of the whites to make sure that it's pure and wonderful and excellent. We just have to remember all the time that sometimes life's difficult, and as long as you've got something to hold on to, whatever that thing is, keep holding on to it. and lean into those things that make you happy. So listen, gang, I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. I'm going to go and try to roll around the floor and lift things unnecessarily without the help of Woody, because he's not so great at helping. And then I'm going to go and take him for a lovely walk on my favourite walk here at the house where we're living at the minute, which is through sort of like some country lanes. So if nothing else, honour yourself maybe just a few minutes to look wistfully out the window and just let your mind drift as a little gift to yourself, or get outside. That's always my go-to as well. It's been lovely seeing you, gang. I hope you have the most wonderful of days today, and I will see you, I think, next week. Yeah, love you lots. Be kind to yourself and be kind to everybody else. See you soon. Bye-bye. Hey, happy Sunday. Nothing like a hot cup of tea